Namaskar friends. Have you ever felt buried under a mountain of paper when you just wanted a straight answer? Get ready because this story is wild. Today we are going to pull back a curtain on a truly bizarre situation from Haryana, India. We are talking about a man who paid a fortune for information only to be drowned with 40,000 pages of what he calls useless papers. This isn't just about documents, it is about the frustrating game of hide and seek some government departments play. By the end, you'll be shaking your head, wondering if transparency is really the goal. Alright, the picture is this. You are Pankaj Arora, a regular guy from Kurukshetra, Haryana. But Pankaj isn't just sitting around. His guard is ear to the ground, and what he is hearing about the local public health and engineering department isn't good. Whispers are going around, whispers about rules being twisted, corners being cut in big development projects, jobs, especially the entry-level contract ones, are going to friends and family instead of the best person for the job. Now, Pankaj is not one to just let things slide. He believes in fairness, in things being done right, and in transparency, letting everyone see what is going on clear as day. So, being the kind of person who believes in action, Pankaj decides to use his power as a citizen. He turns to the Right to Information Act of India, that is RTA, we call it RTA. Think of it like a special key that unlocks government secrets, allowing everyday folks to ask public bodies for information. On January 30th, he carefully crafts his request. He is not asking for vague general stuff. No, Pankaj is precise. Yes, what he has asked was details of all tenders floated, basically all the bids between January 1st, 2023 to 25. He wants to know who bid for what and how, licenses issued to whom, who is allowed to work, and how many people work here. Are they permanent or contract or outsourced? He wants the whole picture of the workforce. And revenue side, how much money is the department bringing in? And expenditure. What is every single rupee, or where is every single rupee being spent on different projects? No stone left unturned. And even GST submissions by contractors. Making sure the tax side of things are all above board. He sent this detailed request off to executive engineer of the department along with the required postal order fee. Everything seems to be going smoothly. Here is where our story takes a turn. And it is a turn that will make you gasp. Official records show that on February 3rd, just days after the Pankaj sent his request, the State Public Information Officer cum Executive Engineer fires back a letter. And what does this letter say? It demands a documentation fee of an astonishing 80,000 rupees. Yes, you heard me right. 80,000 rupees. For what? You ask. Well, they calculated at rupees 2 per copy for a mind-boggling 40,000 pages of documents. Just imagine that stack of paper. It's not just a stack, it's a small mountain or a mini Everest of documents. But wait, there is more to this twist. On that very same day, the executive engineer sends another letter, this time to his junior staff, and this one is stern. He tells them to process Pankaj RTA request quickly within the set time. But then comes a warning. Please note the consequence of delay. On your side, you will be personally responsible for the same. It's like a thunderclap, a clear threat to anyone who drags their feet. This letter gives Pankaj a tiny spark of hope, a feeling that maybe, just maybe, things are actually going to happen now. So Pankaj, being a man of his word, coughs up the 80,000 rupees. He deposits this massive sum with the department in February and March. He has done his part. He has paid the price. He waits and waits. The wait is getting more. Silence, absolutely silence. Days crawl into weeks, weeks into months. The tiny spark of hope starts to flicker. And now the growing sense of frustration has started. He has paid this huge fee, followed all the rules, still nothing, no shouting, no voice, no reply. Then he started writing to higher ups because he felt the system is deliberately delaying things. But Pankaj isn't the one to back down. He doesn't just throw his hands up in despair. He goes for the big cuts. He appeals to the highest authorities in Haryana, the governor of Haryana, the chief minister, the chief secretary, the engineering chief, and the whole list of other powerful officials. He lays out his grievance, making it clear he suspects these officers are intentionally hiding the information he paid for. This isn't just a simple mistake. It feels like a deliberate cover-up. And then finally, after all that relentless pushing, after the high-ups got involved, something finally comes. In June of this year, a massive delivery arrives. We are talking about a literal truckload of documents, roughly 40,000 pages. Let that number sink in. Pankaj himself describes it. This colossal stack weighed an astonishing 1 quintal and 8.2 kilograms. That's like getting a small library dropped at your doorstep all at once. Now here is the real kicker. The moment he takes the story from frustrating to downright unbelievable. As Pankaj starts to dig into the mountain of paper, he quickly realizes something shocking. He claims the reply wasn't just incomplete, it was overflowing with irrelevant materials. Imagine asking for direction to your friends and getting a 40,000 page historical account of every street in your state since 1800 years. Sure, it's information, but it is not the information you needed. Pankaj says his core queries were completely avoided. It is a classic tactic: bury the important stuff under the mountain of junk. It feels less like transparency and more like a deliberate act to overwhelm and confuse him. When Executive Engineer Sumit Garg was asked about Pankaj's claim by a news reporter, his tune was quite different. He insisted that the department had provided everything according to RTI and as quickly as possible. He even tried to find a little technicality, mentioning that Pankaj rupees 10,000 demand was in his name and another belonged to a school. He wondered if both belonged to Pankaj. Then Pankaj quickly cleared up that, confirming that yes, both the DDs were drawn by him. There is no loophole in that. But what is the big takeaway from Pankaj Arora's epic journey for information? The whole saga shines a harsh light on significant problems. Sometimes burying someone in deluge of irrelevant information can be just as effective as simply saying no. It shows how a regular citizen's genuine desire for accountability, even when backed by a substantial amount of money, can be met with a response that feels more like a game than a genuine effort at transparency. It makes you wonder, are these government bodies truly trying to be open? Are they just finding clever ways to hide things in plain sight? This man's fight for information, from paying a huge fee to getting a tons of irrelevant paper, shows just how tricky it can do. It can go straight answers from some departments. It is a story of persistence, frustration, and a system that seems to prefer burying the truth under the piles of unnecessary documents. And joke of the day, why did Pankaj Arora ask the government for information and RTA? Because he wanted transparency. But what he got instead was a paperweight strong enough to break a table and a headache big enough to fight another RTA. When the truck showed up with 40,000 pages, even Google said, sorry, that is too many results. Did you mean to search for how to waste to be 80,000 in one easy step? Namaskar.